And we're live.
All right, I'm going to let James introduce you all to our new podcast because this was 100% him as far as the name goes, the logo, everything.
So
It's
if you
all
hate
Mr.
it, he's the
Lawler.
one to
So,
fight.
welcome to the Distasteful Departure Podcast.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Hooray.
It's pretty good. Think about it.
Took us a little while to come up with a name, but
Yeah.
I
got
think
it.
it's
But
not
you know
too
what?
bad.
It's stuck. It's sealed. That's what we are. We are Distasteful Departure.
Aw. Sounds good to me. I like it. I like it. You're the
It only
man,
took us about
Steve.
8 episodes to get
I'm
that
going to say
figured
that
out.
like 45 times during the
Yeah.
podcast, by the way.
You're the
Yeah.
man, Steve.
You're the man, Steve.
We'll get to Big Mouth here in a bit. So it is the day before Thanksgiving. A couple of us just got off
The
work.
year of our Lord,
In
2017.
the year of our Lord. Yeah. Tomorrow's Turkey Day. We actually will be eventually spending it together, but we're gonna start out on. We're gonna get the shitty stuff out of the way at the beginning from Captain Jack Paco over here with his eye patch. He's gonna. It kind of doesn't make sense because everything that we've recorded up to now is going to end up eventually being like Distasteful Departure, the lost episodes, because we've never uploaded anything. But I think we should definitely upload this. Just upload this. Fuck it.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
Fuck
10
it.
people listen to it, 10 people fucking listen to it.
The world.
3 people do.
I'll
3 people
link it.
do.
I'll link it to my Twitch followers. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, so
Yeah.
we'll talk about that after we're done recording. But I have a couple of ideas of how to like bump it, but I don't know how we should do it exactly.
Okay.
We'll start with Dave talking about his recent change in his health.
So, big secret. I have cancer. Shh. No, I'm just kidding. So here's the deal. I got the cancers. I've had 2 different cancers in the last 2 years: esophagus and ocular. That is my eye. But on
Coccular.
Monday, 2 days ago, we got that news that cancer patients don't want to hear. They've discovered nodules and growths on my liver, my kidneys, and multiple in my lungs. So it would appear that we are moving to stage 4, spread everywhere. This is end game cancer. We don't actually know that for sure yet. I'll have a couple of tests next week to confirm, but we're all expecting that that's what we're looking at here, and we're gonna go into the whole.
Shout out Total Biscuit. We're gonna tag you in this. I don't know if you guys know who Total Biscuit is, but I'll explain who Total Biscuit is later. We're definitely gonna tag him in this because 1, selfishly, he could probably give the podcast a bump. 2, very similar situation to Paco's.
Oh,
here.
really?
And he's a big time online personality.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, Dave, they've got, there's a rough plan in place, right? So, I mean, let's say next week it comes back, they do a biopsy, it is cancer, they've confirmed it. You have a couple options for treatment at that point. Those treatment options we talked were like immunotherapy or chemotherapy.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
what's the chances of those taking care of it, or is it just...
There's no taking care of it.
So
That's-
the only
that's the
taking
first thing
care
to
of it
know.
I know is usually in air quotes, taking care of it, and that could mean like abortion, like a
We're not-
shitty dog.
I want to take your
Taken to the
cancer out back
vet.
and shoot it in the head.
Yeah,
Fuck.
I'm not-
take care of it.
Yeah. No. So the
I got
what,
this Uncle Vinny.
so what we're looking at, unfortunately, is the end game. This is the stage 4 in all my organs. There's no curing this. There's no fixing this. Best thing you can hope for is remission, and it, you give as much time as possible. But barring a weird tragic accident, this will be what kills me. It's just a matter of time.
But that could potentially be.
It could be next week. It could
Could be 10 years.
Could be years from now.
Yeah.
Could be, yeah.
Okay.
We don't know. It's that balancing act of treating me while also giving me a quality of life worth living.
For sure.
So it's how do we
You don't wanna be
extend my
miserable
life-
on treatment the
How
whole
do you
time.
extend my life as far out as possible while giving me while I still maintain a life worth living. So it's that it's that balancing act we've all seen with cancer in the past.
Sounds like the immunotherapy is probably the best route as that goes, as there's less side effects.
Explain not only for me, but also for any listeners that don't know exactly what immunotherapy is, because you already told me once and I still don't really understand.
So immunotherapy is in the grand scheme of things, a new treatment for cancer. It's in real basic form. They're going to give me a bunch of medicine that's going to amp my own immune system up so it fights the cancer.
And in some cases, even bring it down. So, like, there's times of treatment where you want your immune system high and fighting, and there's times where things need to take effect and they lower your immune system.
Do they give you AIDS and hope
Yes.
the AIDS kills the cancer?
Full on it.
It's like putting a fucking spider and a tarantula or a scorpion in a box, letting them fight it out to see which one wins.
And then once one of them wins, you just you kill the other one, right?
Perfect.
Okay.
That's exactly right. No, yeah, they're so that's immunotherapy. The problem is you have to have certain lab values and all this stuff to qualify for it, for them to believe that it'll be effective. So right now, preemptively, they're actually running all my labs and my blood values and stuff to see if I would qualify for it at all. If when the news comes back.
Gotcha.
So has I know Marcy is super mom, but have you guys discussed Mayo Clinic? What's the place in
Cancer Center
in Houston?
There's Cancer Centers of America.
Oh, you're all thinking about treatment. I was like going to call Make-A-Wish or something.
What? No. What's the? God damn it!
Too old for wishes.
What's the place in Houston? My grandma went there every time she had her cancer came back. It's called it's literally like the premier cancer research hospital in the U.S.
Isn't that the one that the kids are at? They also St. Jude's or
there's
whatever.
St. Jude's
St. Jude's is
there,
a children's hospital.
but there's like another
Children's Cancer Center.
I'm still thinking of
Dang,
Make-A-Wish.
I
Sorry.
cannot remember what they're freaking called.
Anyway,
We're gonna take you to
Mayo Clinic,
Disneyland,
there's
Paco.
Cancer Centers of America. There's
I'm gonna look it up. Keep talking.
But this is what we're looking at is we don't know, but we all it'd be nothing short of a miracle to discover that I have growths on all my organs and cancer, and they're completely unrelated. And
Right.
the growths are just benign nothings.
MD Anderson Cancer Center. MD
Never heard of
Anderson. MD Anderson is right up there with Mayo Clinic as far as in the U.S. best cancer.
Really?
places
I always
in the US.
thought OHSU here was like one of the leading.
No, the ones the Cancer Centers of America in Seattle. It's the crap.
Really? I always thought OHSU was one of like the
They're a
leading
good
cancer
hospital. They're a
facilities.
great hospital, but they're not. They're not like top cancer.
That's where you go right
That's where
now,
I've been
isn't
going
it?
right now. Yeah, for all my stuff is OHSU. Cancer.
Well, you got a tainted view too, because you're like, yeah, they're not that good. I still have fucking cancer.
That's right. Yeah. So I mean, it sucks. We joked about it in the lost episodes that
sure.
someday may be released. That two of us will definitely be back next week. Now that becomes a much more real prospect from going forward. If this is what we all assume it is going to be.
Dude, I
Well-
just really hope it's years and years from now before we have to deal with that, because I was a little bitch when you called me the other day and gave me that news, and I got off the phone with you, and I was in a pretty fucking not to make it about me, but I was in a pretty shitty state for a few
Selfish
hours
fuck.
after talking to you.
So was
like, it fucked me up, man. I'm not gonna lie, you're one of my best friends, and I don't even know what to fucking say. Like, fight the fuck out of this thing, because I don't want to see you go anywhere, man.
Well, that's the thing is that you're gonna fight it, but we're gonna fight it with you. And while we don't know for sure what the news is, but while the preemptive news seems pretty dire, a year ago it was pretty fucking dire too.
That's true.
And
you beat that one,
you made it through
Well-
that. We're all still sitting here doing this, and I think this time next year we'll still be sitting here doing this again.
For sure.
So I'm gonna get a little dark. I don't want to turn this. I want to turn this tragedy into a comedy for sure, especially for the meanings of the podcast. But I was thinking about this earlier when I was thinking about the cast, and I'm gonna share something I'm not sure you guys know. This is something I kept to myself pretty hard, pretty heavy last year when I was doing the esophageal cancer, when I was fighting that battle. And it's actually something that's making all of this much easier on me today. I very legitimately and seriously confronted my own mortality last year and came to terms with dying. There was a good, solid, probably 3+ month period where all I could think about was death. Everything in my life had an end. You guys, my family, like me, everything. I legitimately went through every person in my life. And I don't know if this would be an interesting thing to find out other cancer patients have similar, I'm sure they do, have similar trains of thought from this. It was a solid depression that I was in, and it was me going through every person and just determining what life would be like without them, and what their death would do to me, and to if tomorrow Blake was gone, that happened. Like I start to finish went through this, like I felt it, I suffered it, like I legitimately said, what changes, what happens to me, to you, to Holly, to Holly's family, to your family, to my family. Like if on it driving home from Sisters today, Blake smashed dead, and I did it with everyone in my life. And I just decided, the good news was, you guys' deaths didn't change anything. I was like, whatever.
He jerked off immediately afterwards.
No, but like that, it was a really dark period for me, and it was a hole that was very hard to dig myself out of, because for a very long time that's all I could think about. Like anytime I had thoughts about the people in my life, it was thoughts of what life would be like without them, or how their death would affect me, and I came.
You were using that to to try to empathize with what other people would feel with your own death.
I think so, but this was me confronting mortality on every possible level, and it wasn't just like people. It was like world stuff. It was like this all comes to, everything comes to an end, and it was me coming to terms with that reality, that everything ends, nothing is forever, and like I came to a very, very specific realization at the end of that, and it's the reason why I'm okay now, knowing that I'm may legitimately be facing the end of my life, and let's not beat around the bush. I may not be long for this world in the grand scheme of things. You're right, I might get 5, 10, 15 more years, but I'm 35. Like,
right.
I should have 40, 50 more years, right?
Right.
I'm not going to get, that's not going to happen for me. It actually makes me the lucky one. I don't have to suffer losing any of you.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that's what I came to the realization with, is that going first makes me the lucky one.
That's true.
Because
I don't know why.
There's nothing harder than being left behind.
I thought about that exact thing, like after I got off the phone with you the other day, and with me having a son coming next month, like yeah. I've already kind of faced things mentally, and like I think about things differently, and he's not even here yet, but it's really changed my emotions are different than they've ever been, and there's already things that never would have affected me that affect me now. But I was driving home from work on Monday after I talked to you, and of course I had thought about it after we got off the phone, but I was still at work.
Yeah. You had other things going on.
I had immediately texted Holly, but I had said, like, don't tell anybody this because the whole family doesn't know yet. Hunter doesn't know, blah, blah, blah. I wished I wouldn't have texted Holly. Holly's my sponge.
Yeah, sure.
I tell her all kinds of shit.
She's your wife, dude.
And it's really it's really a way for me to just kind of like bleh, get shit out to her. I wished I wouldn't have told her because of the way her emotions are right now, because it fucked her up too. Probably worse than me at the time. But anyway, I'm driving home, and 1979 by Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, sure.
Came on.
It's weird. I just downloaded that 2 days ago.
So that song came out. I think it came out when I was like maybe a junior in high school. I think.
Yeah, we were in high school. Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness.
Yeah, and I remember really liking that song and like really enjoying it, but I never had like a very strong emotional connection to it. So it was surprising to me that song. And like while I was listening to it driving home, I started being able to see the music video for it in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you remember, but the video is really just like, it's kind of whimsical, and it's about high school kids like having fun and like living life and doing this shit. And I went through this fucking gauntlet of emotions because of not only what you had talked to me about that day, but also because of my kid being on the way, and just, I don't know, dude. It's more like you said, mortality is fucking crazy. But I got to exactly that thought that you had, that while I can't even begin to empathize with what thoughts must be in your head and how you can cope with that and still be okay. Generally, it really is. It's selfish as fuck to think of it that way, but it's not you that has to suffer afterwards.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, this is finite for me. And the truth of the matter is, I will barring tragedy, barring something completely unexpected and out of nowhere, I'm never going to have to suffer losing any of you guys, or my folks, or my brothers.
Well, there is going to be a murder-suicide as soon as this podcast is done recording.
This might be the last time you ever hear me.
I'm killing James and then myself.
No, but that's, the mortality thing didn't cross my mind with anybody that I've known that's died or anything, but getting off the phone with you gave me that thought, and I sat and thought forever about it. And it, not when you got cancer the first time. It never crossed my mind, because to me it was, oh, you have a tumor in your esophagus. They're going to remove it and you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Like, this is a solvable fucking scenario that has an answer. Oh, you got cancer in your eye. Okay, the very worst case, you're going to lose an eyeball, but the cancer is going to be gone. Yeah. But this fucking shit you're telling me is where's that black and white answer? I'll need the fucking answer right now of when this gets resolved and how we do it. And there fucking isn't one. No. And that made me think so much about it. Like,
there is, but the black and white answer for this one is it kills me. That's the end. That's the end result.
Yeah, that wasn't an option in my equation, though.
Yeah,
and that's why my mind got fucked up.
That's the unfortunate part about what we're learning here is the end. This is, like I said, I've been telling you, this is the end game diagnosis. This is the one where now nobody gives a shit about the cancer in my eye. That means nothing.
I thought I was having a fucking shitty week because my ex-wife got married to some guy she knew for 2 months, and then Paco calls me with his fucking cancer.
We'll talk plenty about that here when we get past the cancer.
I don't want to talk too much about it. You know what? She's happily married now.
Air quotes.
But no, but like that's the the truth of the matter is how you just said what you just said there. When I got my esophageal cancer, to you, there was always a solution.
Yeah.
No, I was not ever, like,
You were in a dark place for a while.
I was never confident that I was going to live through that. and I almost didn't.
I was worried about your surgery being dangerous as fuck, but
was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. You know,
Absolutely.
I almost didn't. Like it was actually coming out the other side of that is where this whole mortality confrontation really got heavy, deep for me.
right.
Was because I almost died. Because I went. They put me down for surgery, and I almost didn't wake up. And when I did wake up, I was drowning in my own lungs.
Dude has not smoked a cigarette or taken a vape since
Yeah.
fucking waking up from that.
Yeah, nothing will make you quit abusing your lungs more than living without them for a minute.
Very true.
Oh,
Like
shit.
you know, so it was coming. It was actually the months after the surgery that were real dark for me.
Well, you know, it's like I feel like we could probably do an entire podcast on just this potential diagnosis and our own reactions to it.
Oh, yeah.
But it's the bottom line is that it doesn't make any fucking sense. You know, Holly, her biggest like question and just like what the fuck about the whole thing is why is this happening? Why is this happening? Like, we're in our mid-30s. We shouldn't be fucking worrying about this yet. It should be another 20 years before any of us are having to go through this shit.
I blame it on the devil baby statue outside.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I do.
That's what it was.
I do too. It's but it's definitely like one of those things, especially for a person like me who, for the last 20 years, has kind of stumbled and suffered and gone back and forth as far as like something like faith goes. And stuff like this, like, kind of just shakes whatever was left for me it's just more of the, like, why? Like, why? Why the fuck?
Where's
You
the
know,
logic?
but-
Where's the logic behind
where's
this, you know? Like,
Where's the...
These are also times, though, where I feel like having faith is the most important to your...
Sure.
Just to your state of mind, you know? Like...
It can be.
We have talks about it outside of this, but you know, when you hit these situations, faith's all you got left. You know, you got to put your faith in something, whether it's yourself or something else, and just be as strong as you fucking can to get through it. And
But I think what Blake said is Holly's struggling with the why of it.
oh, for sure.
Yeah, she's just, you know, why? Like,
And and that's another thing. I'm past the why of it. I've come to terms with the why of it. I mean,
because there is no
why.
There is no why.
You know what? And this is the way I've described it to everybody since the beginning. The bottom line is I rolled some dice. I rolled 1,000,000-sided dice and I hit snake eyes. That's the why of it. It's all bad luck. It's all shit luck.
It's just shit luck.
But then
There's nothing you did that caused it. You know what I mean?
Then I come back to this kind of makes me the lucky one, because I will never have to live without you guys. I will never have to go through losing my parents, and I love you guys to death. But when I was talking about going through the scenarios in my head and
oh yeah,
living it in my brain, losing these people, losing my mom will break me.
oh yeah.
She's my rock. She's my foundation.
Yeah,
like,
you've always said that.
Like, not the fact, like, it's gonna be a blessing for me that I get to go first. Like,
well, you know, we're getting darker and darker here, but I still think that, yeah, you're gonna fucking go, but I think it's gonna be 15 years. So let's deal with this in 14 and a half years.
Are we? We should make, like, what's those, like I'm sure people at Holly's work are like doing like the birth calendar.
It's called the Deadpool. They already did it in Deadpool.
How you guys want to do?
We should do the Deadpool.
Let's do an advent calendar, and each day is like a different kind of cancer that you've had.
I kind of want to do an actual Deadpool. I kind of like that.
Fuck. I don't know, man. My grandfather had fucking cancerous tumors all over his liver and made it fucking 15 years after they told him he had 6 months to live.
My
like,
grandma...
you never know where it's going to fucking...
My grandma was stage 4 terminal. You have this many months to live 3 times before it finally got her, and she was 70. She was 70 when it finally got her, when it came back and got her. But she had it in her colon. She had it on her liver. She had it all over the place at different times, and it finally got her. But she was 70. You know.
You're 35 years old right now.
Yeah.
We need to fucking do something amazing when you turn 50.
Okay. Well,
Like just
I have,
fucking straight up amazing.
I already am like thinking about things and like have things.
I'm thinking 36 in case I don't see 37.
Sure.
Like that's where I'm at right now. I'm like,
we can do
I
cool
better
shit
do-
now.
I better do something
but, like,
amazing for 36.
There's a guy. Okay, so I think that I was gonna save this for
I'm with you.
for off the podcast to talk about for the first time, but fuck it. I saw it on Reddit today, and it has like 13,000 fucking upvotes, and people are jumping on this shit like no other. The title of the post is "My best friend is dying, and here's what we're gonna do about it." And it's this guy and his best friend since childhood found out that he had cancer as a kid, at like 6th grade or something. Cancer is now back. They're in their 20s, and it's a mutated cancer with no treatment options, and he has he has an expiration date, right? So they have made a bucket list, and this guy dropped out of college to go just hang out with his fucking friend for the rest of his life, and they're doing shit. And some of it's fucking outrageous, but I guarantee you it happens. One of them is lift weights with The Rock. Guarantee you that fucking happens, especially with as much traffic as this is getting on Reddit.
Oh yeah, as soon as The Rock sees it, it's not like he'd
start
say
thinking
no.
about what the fuck
like,
you want to do.
Yeah.
Because
So-
we'll
so-
fucking make it happen.
I can tell you like
He wants his dick sucked by Jessica Alba. Let's
first,
just put that out there
I'm
now.
Assuming
You've already had your dick sucked by a movie star.
that is true.
Ding!
Assuming it is what we all fear it is. My thinking is actually going to be I'm going landmark.
Public masturbation.
No. I'm going landmark to the point where like I don't want to live long enough to see this. And once I hit that landmark, I'm gonna pick the next one.
Trump's already president, so pick something else.
No, here's I can tell you guys right now. You know, first.
Sex robots.
No. First, honestly, like first landmark. If this diagnosis comes back,
Okay.
episode 9.
Oh, okay.
I want to see episode 9.
First landmark. So
Okay.
So 2019.
Yeah, so that's my first landmark.
Okay.
I already know it in my head. Is
Speaking of,
We're going to goddamn Star Wars.
wanna
speaking
see
of,
episode 9.
side note, are we all gonna go see episode 8 together?
Fuck yeah.
We fucking should. Holly can't go see it. She
Was
can't
it
go to a
December
movie.
15th or 18th?
15th. I think it's the 15th.
Yeah.
What day of the week is that? You guys want to go opening night?
Well, I think we should
Go wait in
maybe-
fucking lines or wait a day? It's up to you. I'll wait in
look
fucking
at
lines.
We'll look at it while we're after
Yeah.
after we're
Yeah, but like
recording.
that's where that's gonna be my next my new coping
Okay.
mechanism. I'm gonna set live this long goals, and
Okay.
the first one is I will not die before seeing episode 9.
Okay, well, my goal
yeah.
then, since you want to see episode 9, my goal then is to see episode 9 with somebody from episode 9.
Ooh.
Somebody. We'll get like an extra or something.
Alright.
Fucking Ewok.
Chewbacca.
But, anyway. Alright, let's,
See episode 9 with Carrie Fisher. Oh,
Oh. We're late.
damn.
So,
Wait, what did Carrie Fisher die from?
she was a drug
She had
addict.
a heart attack in an airplane.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck, I didn't know
And
that.
she, whenever, like, she was supposedly clean for, like, all these years, they found so many drugs in her system. She had so much cocaine in her system, it was ridiculous.
I'll bet Carrie Fisher would have been a blast to do cocaine with.
Dude, we're going to do so much cocaine in the next couple of years.
That's actually what I told her, you know, so I went to the doctor and my initial plan was I'm getting better, so I'm going to return to work.
Yeah, you were supposed to go to work
you literally
Monday or
just
something,
got
right?
good news. You posted some shit on Facebook.
Yeah.
Good news, everybody. My eye cancer's gone.
You're the man,
Yeah.
Steve.
Bad news is, it's everywhere else.
Yeah, that's literally what's happening right now.
Well, it's
My
gone from your
my
eye.
eye cancer is going away. But
The good news is your eye cancer is cool.
the
You're,
good
we're going to
news.
save the eye
Yeah,
for a while. For a
the
while.
eye's gonna be fine. The rest of me.
The eye's going to be fine
That
until
shit's a little iffy.
the rest of it's not. Yeah.
But so I went to my work. I'm still going back to work because I'm gonna assume I'm okay till I'm not, right? That's what you're supposed to
sure.
do.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I actually returned to work on Sunday. This coming Sunday is my first day back.
Nice.
But I went back to my work to tell them that and to also share, hey, but I might not be around that long. Like, the truth is, if I get the bad news, how much of the rest of my life do I want to spend working, right?
Yeah, why would you fucking work?
Yeah, fuck that. I'd be
So-
out.
Yeah.
So I've
burned my building to the
promised
ground.
them. I've promised them December. I'm there through December, no matter what I hear, no matter what the news is. I'm working the month of December. Anyway, but I went back and I was joking around with them, and they said, so what Sam, who's one of the nursing supervisors, I love Sam. She's awesome. She was at my benefit. She ended up going out and she was one of the nurses and girls.
Did she happen to be one of the ones that Holly was trying to
She's
do
the
some
one,
love connections with?
She's the one. She's the one that was like, Holly, you're so pretty.
Oh, okay,
Like,
yeah. I remember her.
Yeah, she's the one that was telling Holly how pretty she was all night.
Yeah, I remember her. Now.
I don't remember pretty much that night at all. But that's actually this is stuff I was told the next day.
Yeah.
Or no, Holly was trying to hook her up with me. I don't remember, something like that. But she's totally.
But she'd
married.
rather lick Holly's bad.
But she's totally married. Yeah. Anyway, so she was working and she's like, so what do you want to do? What's the plan? And I was like, bucket of cocaine, Crocodile Dundee style.
Yep. Yeah, we. I remember that. I kind of remember that night. Well, I think that night ended. Actually, it ended pretty fucking lame and like depressing. Like we all went back to my house at some point. No, it was a different night. At some time during his last battle. We ended up like Paco and I drank an entire bottle of whiskey at my house, listened to sad music, and just fucking cried together for like 2 hours. And then we'd like laugh about shit.
I don't remember that at all.
And then I would just it was fucking it was the next morning. Holly was like, "You guys are both fucking a couple bitches."
Oh shit.
She's like, "I'm the biggest man
Well,
here."
I
in
think
this
we
fucking
definitely
house.
have a Vegas trip
That was
with
hilarious.
massive cocaine and hookers in our future.
Yeah,
that wasn't the benefit. That was the what the night I was thinking of was the Friday after my diagnosis when they told me I had cancer and I was like we're getting fucking hammered.
It was that
Let's
night.
do it.
That's the night.
And everybody came out and joined me and we fucking got shit housed.
That's the night.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I blacked out hard that night. Like I made out with 3 girls and I have no idea who any of them are.
Yeah, and one of them was the chick who was like friends with your dad's girlfriend. Because I was standing there with your dad, and I was like, "Do you know her?" And he goes, "She's friends with whatever." I don't remember your dad's girlfriend's name.
Lisa?
Yeah, but he was like, "She's friends with Lisa," and I was like, "It's kind of weird, right?" He goes, "Yeah. Oh well."
So what I was told the next day is that I made out with 3 different girls over the course of the evening, and I literally no idea who any of them were.
That's fucking
That's
awesome.
That's a good night.
Yeah, that's a good night, man. Well, I have another goal for you. I want you to be around long enough for my son to remember you.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Better have a strong memory.
So, like, I remember stuff from when I was 5. So
He should remember.
5 years.
He should remember his real dad.
Oh no. Well, and you know what though? Like, his middle name is your first name.
There you go.
So there you go.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but it's my
Would
middle
you,
name. Too.
what is your child's full name?
Daxton.
Daxton?
David K.
David K. I like it.
DDK
So it's like
sounds like a wrestler.
Diamond Dallas K.
I was thinking about that, dude.
Yes.
So our podcast, DD podcast, right, or DDP.
DDP.
As soon as I looked up DDP,
Holy
I was like,
shit.
Diamond Dallas Page.
That's fucking awesome. All right. Unfortunately, my hummingbird bladder has to piss. So
Oh, word.
I'm gonna let James pontificate for a couple of minutes on the.
Yes, we are transitioning now into the events of last week.
I like that the board. What the board says is.
I'm gonna tell you what the board says. So we have a board that I kind of write shit on every time we record, and it's just like bullet points for stuff, so we won't forget what we want to talk about. The first one is fucking cancer. The second one says ex-wife's gay marriage.
And we'll explain. That'll be explained here in just a moment.
Continue.
All right, so no names. I don't want to incite a war here, but so we talked about in previous podcasts, right, about their situation, and okay. So the funniest part of this is that 2 weeks ago, from the weekend. They broke up. And the text message I got from my ex-wife says, "I can't believe it. I just found out he's fucking gay." Literally, word for word, what the text message said. My response to her was, "Yeah, I already knew that."
Yeah, we heard.
we heard. So, kind of jokingly, they get back together 2 days later. I don't know the specifics. I don't fucking talk to her that much.
Yeah.
So, the following weekend, which is 1 week from last weekend ago, we were out for my daughter's karaoke contest at Silver Moon Brewing. And they got into it that night to where I got a text message from her that said she broke up with him because, God, I'm horrible with leaving names out. She broke up with him mostly because he texted me and said, "Hey, I'm going to try to make sure it stays sober tonight for Ava." And so she got pissed about that. They broke up, and it was all over Facebook. I think you guys had said you saw it on Facebook.
Well,
so
Holly told
let's
me.
roll back to 4 days ago. They were at Friday, wasn't it?
It was,
so 5 days ago, 6 days ago, they're at the courthouse and got married. They've known each other. At the point they got married, they had known each other, who each other even exists, for 2 months.
If I'd have known that you could marry your own beard, I would have done it years ago. Nobody gets that.
So anyway,
Talking about me?
No,
it was a little shocking. So
Are you my beard?
I had no idea what was going on until a friend Snapchatted me and was like, I'm watching your ex-wife right now on Snapchat get married."
Who was Snapchatting her getting married?
Multiple people where she
R?
was. And
I thought we weren't using names. I was going to go
I wasn't.
R
I said
or
everybody's
S.
fucking name already, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But anyway, a friend of mine got wind of that and said that to me. So I called another friend and I was like, "Holy shit, getting married right now?" And they said, "Yeah, I'm sitting with her right now. I'll call you back in a few."
OM fucking G.
So anyway, it's been rough. She didn't tell either of her children that she was going to get married. It was a shock to them as well.
When did she know? Do we know that?
Well, here's what I remember. I remember Mr. Lawler over here telling us, one, that she had said something to your youngest.
Yeah, that her husband now proposed to her, and this happened 1 month after they knew each other. He proposed to her.
Guys, you shouldn't doubt the power of true love. That's exactly what I told Holly.
Hey, my parents fucking knew each other for 3 months, and my dad proposed to her, and they got married after knowing each other for 7 months. Pretty short time.
Yeah,
they're still fucking married right now.
I don't think that's going to happen with these two.
No.
No, I give it.
What was the joke?
A
dark joke we had the other day.
Was, what do you guys think is going to last longer, their marriage or Paco's life? And we all decided that Paco's going to live longer than
much longer
than their fucking sham of a marriage.
So I called my son, and said, "Hey, I just want to let you know your mom got married today," and his exact words were, "I don't fucking care."
Oh God, I'm sure.
And when I told my daughter, she went, "You're joking," and I said, "No, they really did." And
have
she
you done
goes,
the math?
"Oh my God."
Is he closer in age to
Bryce than
or
her? So wait, yeah, no,
That's
because
fucking
she's
rad.
34. I have to say, I honestly don't know how old he is.
You know, good
A
for her.
friend of Corey's told me that he was 25. I don't know if that's true. Told me he's 28, but Corey's a fucking liar, so I don't know.
Yeah, she said a lot of things.
But if he's 25, he's closer in age to Bryce.
I could see either being true.
That would be 8 years, and then to Corey it would be 9 years.
You know, I mean, it's like honestly, it's like who cares, you know? But one, there were things that happened throughout there that I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. When I saw them, and I'm like, I'm sure that James isn't enjoying that very much. But I mean, we've known that. I don't know. I'm not
Look,
going to
man,
go full on.
it's the fucking mother of my daughter, and
Sure.
I don't want the worst for her. I want her
Sure.
to be fucking happy, and if she found a dude she's happy with, I hope them the fucking best. Like, I swear to God, no joke there when I say that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, with everything leading up to it, I mean, she even telling me that he's gay and fucks other dudes, hearing it from
Allegedly.
other people that he's a cross-dresser, and that they don't even
Allegedly,
fucking know
100%.
each other. They broke up 3 times in the last month prior to getting married.
You know,
Like, it doesn't lead up to a happy fucking happily ever after.
You know how we find out if he's into dudes?
Let him see your wang.
and introduce him to me.
Yeah.
I think you should.
Are you
try
gonna do the
fucking-
second half gay, Paco? If you make it through this,
Ooh.
you should
You should totally do the second half gay. Always wanted a gay best friend.
So you guys realize that I've been single the entire time you've known me.
He
right?
might actually be gay.
Yeah.
You are-
Like, are you sure
You
I'm
are
not?
a bachelor, aren't you?
Like I've literally been single the entire time both of you have known me. I've never had a girlfriend.
Dude, I didn't even think about it when you were fondling my dick that one time.
Yeah. Like, how sure are you guys that I'm not gay?
Well,
That girl that crosses your mind when you
Did you-
consider
I was
it?
gonna
did you
say it
compare
right
quotes
now.
with
Told
girl?
you I'm not a homophobe.
No, but how do you know that's not my beard?
Oh, I definitely think she's somebody's beard.
Oh shit.
Well, fuck.
All right,
Speaking
so
of her, have you talked to her?
Yeah.
Is she down and out?
When's
she coming back?
She shed a tear on the phone with me, and then texted me later telling me that she's.
I miss her, man. I wish she would just come back and just be here.
I told her if I live long enough, I'll marry her.
Do it.
I'll do it.
I'll get ordained to marry you guys. I want to do that. Let's do that. Let's talk her into doing that. All right. Goal number 3:
Marriage.
marriage.
marriage to a movie star before she's a porn star.
Before and after.
I love you. I love you, Jillian. I'm just joking. All right.
Shit.
Well, you know what? Sometimes our ex-wives marry gay dudes, and we can't really do anything about it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm-
you still have plenty of time for that to happen to you.
Yeah, it could happen, dude. You know, I fully expect at some point for Holly to have some sort of breakdown and do something retarded. So we'll see.
Holly's gonna go lesbian. We already know that. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's already like 40% lesbian.
That my beard. I've seen her make out with Holly.
Yes.
I've seen it.
Pretty badass.
You're the man, Steve.
He's like, I know. I've jerked off to that song like 4
I've
times.
seen it a lot.
The
right.
next point on the bulletin board here has my interest piqued as well.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Well,
about
I
that
put
one
sexual
myself.
harassment there just because.
Oh, just
Are
some
you
public
being-
shit?
Are you being
Yeah.
accused of something?
No. Well, I was thinking. Okay, so I was driving here from work, and I was listening to the Rogan podcast, the most recent episode with Dan Carlin.
Yeah.
On it.
Oh, that was
I haven't-
awesome.
I haven't listened to it yet, and I'm almost done with it now. But I was listening to it on the way in, and they were talking about some of this stuff going on, and then I just started thinking. I've been thinking about it more and more, and I was thinking about the things that the way I interact with some of the like pretty much equal. Not my work's kind of weird. It's kind of like the way you were at LMH. It's like unofficially, I'm kind of everybody's boss,
Right.
But officially, like, you know, there's an org chart and you have to do certain things
Right.
for certain like regulatory reasons. But I think about the way I interact with a couple of the women there that I'm really comfortable with and I'm really friendly with, and I kind of joke with them the same way I do you guys. As of today, we're starting this thing where management does what's called a 360 review on each other. So it's me and 4 women who are like, on paper, my parallels.
Who? Well, I'll talk to you afterwards. I know you don't want to say names, but I'm curious. Who are your parallels?
I'm actually more curious if you guys' periods have synced yet.
Is it
No. None of them.
No,
like,
people on your
completely-
side?
Completely different. Yeah.
Oh, really?
We're so far removed from them.
That's
now.
what I
Like,
thought.
they
That's
don't-
why it
they
made
don't
me
have
wonder.
anything to-
I thought like Pete and whatever the other dudes
Pete
here.
Jackson. Yeah, but we have like, I mean, we have Brittany who does HR stuff. We have Hannah who's the QA manager.
But you've
she's
hired
still,
all
like,
of these
answers to me.
people.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's exactly like that LMH shit
Exactly
was.
like the LMA shits, where like on an org chart or to the FDA,
You have these
they are
people as-
independent,
yeah.
but they all answer to me.
Right.
Unofficially. But we're doing this thing where it's like 360 reviews, and we all kind of review each other, and then that goes to the partners, and then they fucking do whatever with it. It's the first time we've done it. We're trying it right now, and it's funny. But because we're doing that, I've been thinking recently, like, wow, like with all this shit that's going on, and while I'm super comfortable with them, they're cool people. We all have fun. We joke about pretty inappropriate fucking things at work. If one of them decided to say, you know what, Blake pissed me off yesterday, fuck him,
And this is what he said.
Here's what he said to me yesterday. I would probably be in fucking deep shit, right?
Yeah, it was like, hey, bitch, how do you like that? Knuckle deep.
Well, it was elbow deep, but that's impressive for her. Anyway, so it made me start thinking about that, and I wanted to get your guys' opinion on, look, I'm not going to fucking pretend that I'm some sort of male feminist, because I'm not. But my opinion as far as like the sexes go is that we're equal, and that's it. Like, you don't need to like try any harder to convince other people that you think women are okay, you know?
For sure.
So whenever we have like this whole situation with the Alabama dude, what's his name? Roy Moore.
Yeah.
Roy Moore, all the shit that he's like accused of, and you have our commander-in-chief saying, hey, you know what? He said he didn't do it. So there's that. And not only, this is his exact words, not only did he say he didn't do it, he totally said he didn't do it. I like how he can put an adjective on there. As long as it ends in Y, it makes whatever he's saying more credible. So there's that happening. There's just this whole like kind of, it's kind of like a renaissance happening right now.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Like,
if you ever whipped your dick out in front of a girl, you're in
if
big
you've
trouble.
ever done anything,
you better just fess up now. Cause
I'll tell you what, the Harvey Weinstein
reckoning is
shit.
coming.
The Harvey Weinstein shit disgusts me. But there's a
But
lot of
it's something we've always known.
well,
has gone
and that's
on.
why my argument now is the people who come out and go, 30 years ago this happened. Well, why didn't you fucking say something 30 years ago? You
Well,
used it to your advantage. And some of those
sure.
people, even with Harvey Weinstein, it's like, yeah, I sucked his dick to get a part in a movie. Well, you
Absolutely.
made the fucking decision to suck his dick.
Absolutely.
Sorry,
and, and some of you got like Oscars and shit because of it.
And that's where it's like, you know what? Everybody wants their fucking 5 minutes of fame, or 10
But at
minutes
the
of
same
TV,
time,
whatever.
at the same time,
I have a legitimate question.
Huh.
Does the CK in Louis CK stand for caresses kids?
He doesn't
Ooh.
fucking have anything with kids, does he?
Well, yet you never know.
I love Louis
CK.
C.K. I think he's one of the funniest stand-up comics I've ever
We went
fucking
and saw him
heard.
last year. Like,
Louis C.K. is no less funny to me now than he
Right.
was then. Louis C.K. likes
To jerk
cum.
off in front of
He
people.
likes to cum, and what makes him cum is showing women his dick and jerking off. Obviously, now what Louis did,
No.
it wasn't okay.
No,
you know?
fuck that. From what I've heard, he didn't touch another fucking woman. He
No.
jerked off in front of them. And if they didn't want to see it, they could have walked the fuck
Oh,
away.
that's a bad cop out
It
right there.
is. It
Okay,
is. It
because
is.
a solid rule of thumb should be: don't just whip your dick out if she doesn't want you.
He always asked. He always
asked. And
But-
and at any point in time, they could have gone, you sick fuck, and walked out the door. The one story I read about the two women
Yeah.
who sat there until he finished and then
Well,
awkwardly left was their story.
Here's where I think it's okay. I mean, the whole thing's gross because like it's kind of the same thing as me like driving up to the coffee stand with my dick out
Yeah.
hard, jerking
Unsolicited.
off, pulling up to it
Yeah.
with a sweater over it and going like, "Hey, you want to see my dick?" And if she said no, I wouldn't care, and I showed her anyway.
Yeah,
You know.
that's fucked up.
But
yeah.
what makes it even worse to me is that some of the people that he was doing it to were, while this was like 05, 06.
Well, that's
or
what I was
whatever,
saying. Has anybody come out from him doing it in the last 2 years? Then
No, well,
fuck
I'm
off.
not even the
But
last,
is,
like,
but is
8
there a
years.
statute of limitations on being a fucking creep?
No,
I think he was just kind of creepy.
Yeah,
he was
for
just
sure.
he was just kind of perverted. But
I just mean, I guess, as far as
He
legal
didn't-
criminal charges for doing something wrong goes.
Well, I mean,
You know.
it's tough, and I will confess it's rough because there's such a plethora of accusations now, and there's so many people involved.
yeah, there's some
strength
people
in
who are
numbers.
straight.
There's,
Well,
there's strength in numbers.
Yeah.
You know, some of
But-
these women
were
I think some of
legitimately
these women-
assaulted and fucked up. Like,
I think some of these women are full of shit. Probably.
yeah.
There has to be. I mean, if you're just any kind of sample, you have to take that there's going to be some of them that are full of shit. But the majority of them are not.
Right.
I mean,
And
Cosby's obviously innocent, but beyond that,
100%.
What's wrong with little Quaaludes, guys?
Said that he was 100% innocent yesterday.
Who, his lawyer?
I made that up. He's not 100%.
I was watching Daniel Tosh the other day, and I was like, I would totally open for Cosby.
Of course he did. He is Daniel Tosh is one of my favorite comics because he couldn't give any less shits, dude. Like he's the guy who started the whole like rape culture thing, where that became an issue because he told a rape joke to a comedy club, and one woman in there who happened to be a blogger, barf, said that's not funny or something. One, that's heckling. You don't fucking heckle a comic. Two, his reaction to it was so fucked up and so funny. His reaction was, wouldn't it be hilarious if 5 guys raped her right now? Now, to me, that's fucking hilarious. Because he's playing on the fact that, one, she's being ridiculous by acting like whatever he's saying is real.
You can't
like
censor what a comic joke's about. That's
No.
half of what fucking comedy is, joking about fucked up shit.
That is why they exist. I mean, they exist
Try
to...
G plus time.
Yeah.
Yes. So, anyhow.
Guess what? I'm dying, and we're gonna laugh hysterically about it.
Too soon?
Well, it's way too soon because he's not dead yet. But, yeah, eventually I'll laugh when you die. Sure. Like, look at him! Look at him! He's fucking dead!
You guys better dance on my grave.
What are we gonna do with your body?
You guys need to eat my heart.
I'm gonna wait. No. I'm gonna wait until
I'll
the
eat your
cancer
heart,
has
Paco.
almost killed you, and then I'm gonna murder you.
You legitimately need to eat my heart to gain my strength.
Wow. I should totally do that. No, I
You know what's
wanna
fucked
catch
up
cancer,
is
dude.
I just had this conversation with my parents the other night about what do you guys want me to do with you when you died? They're like, well, we both decided we don't want to be burned. We want to be buried somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that shit's expensive. Like, who's going to pay for that? And we basically decided I'm going to get their death certificates and legally be able to put them in the back of my car. And I'm going to go drive them in the woods somewhere and just bury them in like a fucking... there's going to be a grazing of dirt over their bodies.
No, you're not, because Brian's gonna have their bodies taxidermied so that they always live with them forever.
Oh, he's going to listen to this podcast. That's
Sure,
fucked
I love
up.
you, Brian. It's funny. It's funny though.
Oh, shit.
Well, anyway, the whole point that I'm making is
We went off on a tangent there.
this whole back to sexual harassment. This whole sexual harassment thing is one. It's crazily getting out of control. I heard the funniest joke, and I've tried to tell you guys about Cumtown. Cumtown is one of my favorite podcasts because I think that Nick Mullen is like one of the most genuinely funny people alive.
Nick Mullen, he'd suck your dick right now if he were here.
I may. So he said something on, I don't remember which one of their podcasts it was because they have like their normal feed and then the Patreon bonus feed. But he said basically what he's saying is it should be obvious to everyone that pedophilia is rampant in Hollywood if right now the most famous child actor is a toothless boy. He's talking about the kid from Stranger Things.
Oh my god.
whose agent was actually the guy fucking accused of all the fucking shitty rape stuff.
Was it really?
Yeah.
It was either
my
agent or
God.
manager, but it's like, how can anybody deny it? The most famous child actor right now is a toothless boy. That's so fucking funny. But he's not wrong. It's like, the thing that gets me the most is, I had a conspiracy theory thought last night. What if the DNC, who we know now is probably the most corrupt fucking thing in the United States because of what they did to Bernie Sanders, right?
Oh yeah.
What if they talked to people like Harvey Weinstein, like yada yada, and said, look, you have been a champion for the party. We're going to need you to take one for the team because we're playing the long game right now. We're getting America primed up to be like, get their torches out, fuck all these fucking sexual harassers, child molesters, rapists, fucking whatever. Because everyone fucking ignored Trump's accusations. And they're like, we're going to get the whole country to go after everyone else except for him. Then it's going to be like, hey, bro, what now? It's you. You're next. It's not all these other people. It's you.
Well, that's a good thought.
It's possible. The reason that I thought that is because why? Why are we paying so? Why is Trump even commenting on Al Franken's fucking white bread, vanilla ass shit? Oh God, he maybe touched a girl's butt while her husband took a picture of him, and he possibly kissed a girl in an audition of a scene where they were going to kiss anyway, and then took a picture of groping her breast, when if you look at the picture, he's not even touching her breast. They're hovering over her breasts.
Right.
I'm not even like a big Al Franken guy. I think he's kind of fucking obnoxious. But I think that when you get down to like what we're seeing now with like his accusations, a couple of other people, it's like, oh my God, dude.
Well,
any of us we have all done shit like that.
Some of the funny shit that to me that is just odd about that is specifically when the Kevin Spacey shit came out. Did you see the throwback to the Family Guy episode from like 2007?
Yeah.
Where Stewie's like, I just got out of Kevin Spacey's basement.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but
they're like, it's been an inside joke that everybody in Hollywood has known about, that he is into little kids and shit.
Well, I didn't know about the kid thing, about the young person thing, but
well, yeah, the one that he got accused of was 13 when it happened.
Did you guys all know that he was gay? Like before he said he was gay?
No, I didn't know that.
Okay, I did. I fucking knew the guy was gay. I mean, he's a gay man.
Blake's got a hell of a gaydar.
I have a very strong gaydar. And it is going off the charts right now.
Takes
for
one
of you,
takes
one
one
of
to
you
know
two.
it.
I don't know who it is. It's my dick. My dick is my gaydar.
It's getting hard right now looking at both of us.
It's hard as a rock. It's 2.5 inches. So I knew that Kevin Spacey was fucking gay. I mean, of course he's gay.
The first guy that came out against him, his allegations were back when he was 13 years old.
No, I'm not. I know that now, but of course I never suspected that he was doing
for
anything
sure.
with children. But I always thought Kevin Spacey's gay. His character in American Beauty was just too good. Like, it's like, yeah, he's fucking gay.
But that's just to have like Family Guy making fun of that shit, and I can't remember if it was 07 or 09.
Yeah, but
like it was already a well-known thing.
Fucking Seth MacFarlane made like Weinstein jokes at some award show fucking a few years ago.
Yeah. There were Weinstein jokes going back to like the 90s.
Yeah.
So the real question is why does Seth MacFarlane know all of this shit?
Well, do you guys think Seth MacFarlane's gay?
I could see that if it came out. If it came out, it wouldn't surprise me.
I think he's gay, but
I think he's fucking hilarious.
Well, are you homophobic, James? Do you think that because you're gay you can't be funny?
No, I just
hot take.
No, I think Seth MacFarlane's awesome.
It took a turn real fast.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is that
I guess what I meant to say was I don't give two shits if he's gay.
No, right. I know that. I'm just fucking with you. But what if it came out that like, here's the one that I think would break everybody. What if it came out that Steven Spielberg was like fucking with kids, and he had made all of these, like, he had made our entire childhood, everything.
With I guess just the day and age and everything that's came out, I can't say it would be something that would surprise me.
E.T., Goonies, fucking Indiana Jones. He was fucking short round. Who knows? At this point, I think that everyone in Hollywood is fucking kids.
Well, that's been the big thing, is how big pedophilia,
did you guys see the thing where
homosexuality is in Hollywood? Percentage-wise, is so much higher than anywhere else.
So, did you see where Charlie Sheen like supposedly fucked Corey Haim on the set of Lucas?
Really?
Yeah.
No. The accusations have been so much lately.
Charlie
I can't
Sheen
keep
would have
up on
been
it.
19 then, and Corey Haim would have been 13.
You guys, I'm just gonna say this right now, that if no accusations ever come out against Steven Spielberg, we could all say, "You're the man, Steve."
You're the man, Steve.
What I really want to know is why you wrote baby dicks on the board.
We're not there yet. We're not to baby. We'll get to baby dicks eventually.
Is it like real, like your baby's dick, or?
I felt like that was a good transition from
Let's
fucking kids. Let's
go
go
to
from
baby
fucking
dicks.
kids to baby dicks.
Let's go to baby dicks because the next two are kind of entertainment related, and then we'll go to story time. Okay, so here's my thing with baby dicks.
Are you having a circumcision talk? Is that what this is?
Yes, that's what this is about.
Oh.
Okay.
So, I haven't seen either one of your guys' dicks. Raise your hand if you're circumcised.
Hold on.
He's gonna show us. Paco's
trying to
pulling
show
out his
me
dick.
Are you circumcised? Okay, so we're all circumcised. Do any of you wish you weren't circumcised?
Yeah, I think if I had it to do for my children, I would not circumcise them, honestly.
Okay.
I don't know.
So-
I mean, I've heard it's a cleanliness thing, but
Well,
I also feel
no,
like,
that's bullshit.
why the fuck do you need to cut on their dick? Like, what is the...
So here's I have literally changed my mind 3 times during Holly's pregnancy, and it was kind of a thing that Holly just said, it's up to you. You decide. She is 100% for circumcision.
Yeah, she likes your dick and circumcised.
Yes, and the thing is that the guy she was with for a long time before me wasn't circumcised, and she always kind of thought it was gross. So,
You know what? I would say take the woman's perspective on that. Because to me, I don't ever plan on putting a dick in my mouth.
Me either.
But if it stopped him from getting a blowy someday in his life because his dick wasn't circumcised,
But that's
give
my-
him the better
okay,
option
so-
of getting the blowy.
So here's why I've gone back and forth so often. It's like my issue with it is the choice factor. It's like I'm making a choice for him.
Okay.
Can you get your dick circumcised when you're like 15?
Yeah, you can anytime.
I'm gonna get to that in a second.
That becomes my point here is, who in their right mind would be like, you know what, time to chop a little bit off of this thing when they are old enough to make that decision.
I'll tell you who. We recently learned.
Okay, that was a full name and a lot of personal information we're gonna put on the internet.
Okay, I don't care. I'm sure he won't care either. We recently learned. I'll learn 2 things actually out of this. The first one being that Holly's parents never talked to her about sex ever at all. She didn't know shit because Holly's 32 now, 33, and we just learned that he waited until he was 21 and then got circumcised because his first wife didn't like his dick.
So, actually, that's the poll then. I mean, the poll would be to ask women, do they prefer a circumcised or uncircumcised dick?
Well, I've
and if a
looked online.
majority of women prefer a circumcised dick,
I've
I would
looked
do it.
online and they're really.
Why are you
it
just
seems to
assuming
be-
his kid is straight?
It seems to be 50-50. Yeah. Why are you even assuming my kid's gender, to tell you the truth?
Yeah.
assuming gender is fucking retarded shit, and fuck you if you get pissed because I assume your gender. You're
James?
fucking retarded.
Do you know how many genders there are?
There's 2. Go fuck yourself.
Do you do you know what the square root of 270 is? Because that's how many genders there are.
I'm
Oh, Jesus.
currently identifying as this piece of lemon cake.
That's the problem. That shit is the biggest joke in the world right now. Is you assumed my gender?
It really is. It's fucking funny though.
It is.
Like, okay, so back to the actual like the baby dicks. I just if you read things about like what it's like to not be circumcised, it makes me go, man, I wish I wasn't circumcised. You know, like it seems like just your dick works better, like it's more
Yeah.
sensitive, sex feels better, blah blah blah.
Well, and either way, when
It's
you get
easier to
hard,
jerk off.
it's out of the foreskin, right? So
I think so, but I don't know. I've seen porn with dudes that weren't circumcised and they still like
Have
were
to pull it
hard and
back.
had to like expose
Unsheath
the.
it.
Unsheath
what I always
it.
wonder,
Unsheath it like a fucking
hey,
sword.
I'm
That's
gonna be,
kind of why
I'm
I
gonna
think
be
it's
honest
cool.
with you right now. The thought has crossed my mind when my dick is hard and the skin is super tight. Would my dick have grown bigger if the skin wasn't holding it back because I got circumcised and there was extra skin there for it
Damn,
to
that's
grow
a good
into?
point, dude. You're changing my mind back. No, so
I actually am now just picturing somebody unsheathing their dick to the Game of Thrones theme. Dun,
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 dun.
dun, 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 dun.
my brain makes a shotgun chambering sound to the idea of unsheathing your penis. It's all no, but I remember seeing my dad's dick last year. No, when I was a kid, and Dad he wasn't circumcised. But
Really? But he's a pastor at the church. Wasn't that huge for Christians? And
No, it's Jewish.
Yeah,
Jewish
that's a Jew
circumcision is a Oh, yes, circumcision is a strictly Jewish thing.
really,
They do
I
real
didn't know
crazy shit with like a moil where they like
They make
they
it
do
sound
the
like it's a
circumcision
party.
and then they have to like suck the blood with their mouth. And
What?
so in the Jewish community, there's this huge rash of children getting genital herpes because the moil has like a cold sore and fucking sucks their little baby dick.
Jews are fucking weird.
You heard it here, folks.
I just when you were starting into that, I was like, what do they cut it in like weird shapes? You could have like a star-shaped foreskin or
No,
something.
they have like a
Your balls look like the Star of David.
they have like a party.
Yeah,
And they circumcise the
bris
penis.
or whatever,
Bris,
isn't
yeah.
it?
Yeah, it's a bris.
I've heard that.
So they circumcise the penis. The moil goes and sucks the blood off of the penis.
Why?
After they've, I don't fucking know, dude. It's weird as shit, right? It's fucking weird.
So all you
One
Jews
of our
had a fucking
Jewish-
grown man's
one of our
lips
Jewish
next to your
listeners,
dick.
Please write us. By the way, we need to register the domain of
Oh.
our podcast as an email.
Okay, so temporarily, I did sign up for and have out at Outlook.com. So distasteful departure at Outlook.com. is
Distasteful
ours.
departure at Outlook.com.
And then we
That's
need
how
to
you
go
reach
buy
us.
those domains.
That's how we'll take your hate mail.
Give me the D at gmail.com. No.
I also, we'll talk about that later, but we're going to grab distasteful departure.com and ddpodcast.com.
We need to go get some fucking dinner when we're done.
Yeah, I'm hungry as fuck.
Okay, so baby dicks. Let's wrap this shit up. If you, Paco, were having a son, would you have him circumcised?
Yes.
What about you, James?
I don't know.
Have you seen
I'm
uncircumcised
torn
dick? They're
50-50.
fucking weird looking.
They are, but there's just been a few thoughts that I've had and stuff that I've read that makes me go, you know what? I don't see the point in doing it.
So here's
The Jews part of it,
So
I
there
thought
was
it was a cleanliness thing.
That was when we're talking about fucking ancient Israel and living in the dirt sand. Yes, that made perfect. There was a cleanliness issue because shit would get in there, and we didn't have fucking like hand soap and running water back then, you know. So there was a cleanliness issue. Today, that's not an issue.
Right. So that just pushes me even more to the fact of why do it.
So I've gone back and forth the whole time, and I'm gonna circumcise him.
Why don't you just have?
Do half a circumcision.
Give him
Tell him
half-
to leave half the
a
foreskin.
half sheath.
Yeah.
Can
you do a half?
I'm gonna circumcise him, but I'm already like I'm a fucking worrier. I worry.
Yeah.
I worry about things that I shouldn't worry about. I have chronic intrusive thoughts. Like, I don't know if you guys do, but I constantly do. Like, if Holly is gone somewhere without me and she hasn't answered my text in 10 minutes, she's dead. Like, or something bad has happened. I'm that kind of person. And so I have been doing the very stupidest thing that I could possibly do. And I know the statistics of how many male babies, lose their dicks every year because of a botched circumcision. It's fucking thousands in the United States. Thousands of babies every year lose their dicks.
Bullshit.
3,700 and something.
And that's why we have a transgender problem in this country.
Oh, is it a problem, James? Is it a problem? I just like stirring this pot and making James look like a fucking bigot.
You know what?
It's a character.
Hey,
You know what I'm thinking?
have
He
a
does
couple of
hate.
friends
He
who are
does hate trans people,
transgender.
but-
You know what I'm thinking?
My problem is most of the ones that I've ever met have been doing it for
We're just
attention,
pieces of
not
shit.
for anything else.
You know what I'm thinking?
Yeah, like your ex. Or is it his boyfriend?
Hey, if
So
you
what
decide,
is the actual statistic?
It's I don't remember like the percentage, but it's over 3,000.
Is it? It's not
A
1 in 3
year?
though, so it's not like one of us.
No, it's over 3,000. I don't know how many babies
There-
are born, but it's over 3,000.
how many
They're like-
kids lose their dicks to circumcision?
Siri doesn't like the word dick, dude. It's very
Circumcision.
abrasive.
About 100 boys die each year as a result of their circumcision.
Die? Oh my god, I didn't look at deaths. Jesus fucking
100
Christ.
kids a year die from their
Is
circumcision.
is that in the United
No,
States?
That's
do you
in
hate
the
trans
United
people?
States as a
Okay.
result of their circumcision. The U.S. circumcision rate is steadily declining. In 2002, it was 65%, 56% in 2006, 54.5% in 2009.
Whose job is it to gather these numbers?
Somebody looked at a
Moyle.
lot of dicks.
There's a
Moyle. The Moyle is running out of baby dicks.
There's
to
a
suck.
dick. There's a
Okay,
dick. There's
you
a
wanna know
dick
this?
slicing researcher out there somewhere.
Most physicians do not get their children's dick circumcised. Now,
So-
if most doctors don't have their kids' dick circumcised,
I don't know about that most thing because our doctor, I asked him. I was like, all right, check it. I was like, man to man, because he only has daughters. I was like, man to man.
He had him circumcised.
If you had a son, yeah, female circumcision, they take your clits. I was like, if you had a son, would you circumcise him? And he went, absolutely. I said, why? He said, because I'm not circumcised. And I waited too long to do it. It's going to be too painful to fucking do it, whatever. He's like, it's an easy procedure, blah, 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 da-da-da. And he's like, I know every doctor in Bend that does them, and they've all done thousands with no issue. He's like, so I would totally do it. But here's the even crazier thing. There are multiple methods of doing circumcision.
Yeah, they said only 45% of them even use anesthetics.
No, they don't. Well, that's the other thing. Do you remember
Anesthetic is probably the most dangerous part about it.
Sure. Do you remember
I
Brian Wolf's...
want to be numb when they cut on my dick.
Oh, no, but you realize that like anesthesia accounts for the most surgery.
Yeah, but anesthesia
that's
doesn't
why-
mean they put them out, right? That could be just a local
Sure.
numbing anesthesia,
But that's
too.
why,
That's
that's
still-
why the longer you wait,
That
the more dangerous
negative
it
reaction to
becomes.
that is still.
This statistic is interesting to me in a couple of ways. So it says circumcision regularly removes a shocking 3/4 of the penis's sensitivity through the removal of the rigid band.
That's why Rachel
Now-
decided not to do it.
Does that mean if you remove it, or if you left it, he would be like a girl touches his dick and he comes instantly because he's so sensitive down there?
Quitter.
Kind of, because your entire life, the head of your dick rubs
covered.
against your underwear or your pants or whatever.
And numbs it that
and
way.
It becomes like desensitized.
Desensitized.
But
Let's talk about your son getting banged, like in like
Five.
I don't know.
Oh, a shocking
We're not Catholic.
5.1
I'm going a different way.
5.1% of circumcisions have complications.
Okay, so the thing that I read was 3,000 and some odd boys in the United States every year lose all or some of their dick to circumcision.
So
But-
they basically, you're talking about infection up the shaft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Makes sense.
So the other thing they said is not one medical association in America or anywhere else in the world recommends infant circumcision. Some even actually post a recommendation against it, but no professional medical
where are you
association.
reading this on? It's called don'tcuttheirdicks.com.
Infowars.
It's actually called circumcisiondecisionmaking.com.
They're taking their foreskins
They're taking their foreskin.
and sending them to socket vampires.
What I need you to do is buy my foreskin cream.
So they have legitimate. There's the references for all of their data points, which is pretty good.
It's like it's sourced.
Yeah, it's sourced.
Okay, well, bottom line is I'm gonna cut my kid's dick, but I have mixed feelings about it.
Just tell him to take half.
I think that
You're gonna be
I don't
so
know.
pissed
I like
if he
my
loses
dick.
his
My
wiener.
dick's circumcised. It's probably gonna be okay.
I'm gonna throw you- I'm gonna
If
throw you-
anything happens,
I'm gonna throw you a legit curveball.
I'll
right
have a
now.
daughter.
What if they're totally wrong and you have a daughter, and it comes out a girl?
That would actually be fucking insane.
My biggest thing comes down to natural selection and fucking just the fact that we have it through evolution. We have the foreskin. It's there for a reason. It protects
Sure.
things. And you're taking away if biologically we were meant to not have it,
Why hasn't
it
the
would have gone
foreskin
away.
went away?
Right. It hasn't
Because
it's
the
there for a
foreskin's-
goddamn reason.
The foreskin's purpose was obviously to protect the head of the dick because we used to not wear fucking clothes.
My biggest argument to the Jews right now is what the fuck? You didn't trust your God enough to get rid of your foreskin before you were born? You had to cut it off afterwards because he fucked up and put foreskin on there?
What James is saying is that 9/11 he
It was an
agrees with
inside
9/11.
job. Yeah, inside job.
Inside of his own religion, which is
Thanks,
which is-
Obama.
which is Islam.
I'm going to smoke a cigarette, you fucking
So-
bitches.
Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna circumcise him. I think I know I'm gonna do it.
Like yourself,
Yeah,
like you personally.
but
I
I'm
want
like
your dick to
super,
look
I'm
like my
super
dick.
nervous
I
about
got
like.
I got trauma shears in the garage.
Let Paco circumcise him.
Can I do
It's on his list. It's on his bucket list. Circumcise a child.
it? No, circumcise Blake's child.
Circumcise Blake's child. Become a moil. That's what's on this. He starts wearing a yarmulke. and
You want to
shit.
marry me and Jillian? I want to cut your son's dick.
All right, that's a fair trade.
No, it's not. Oh, shit.
But we're gonna do it like the old days, where I have to check to see if she's pure before you take her into the marriage tent.
Prima noctra.
Yeah,
Oh my God, your text the other day
Wait.
were killing me about the off-white dress.
Oh, God.
Wait.
Color of
The color of
Are you
Also-
guys,
also the color of cocaine.
cocaine's pretty white.
Are you guys
Not
gonna?
good shit. Good shit's a little
Are you
yellow.
guys gonna eat the placenta?
Fuck no.
Should be pink, by the way, if it's good.
Tell Holly
wait a
she's
minute,
got
wait
a
minute.
fucked up
How do you get
placenta.
a bad placenta?
No, I'm sorry,
Did
cocaine.
you,
Cocaine
did
should
you
be-
leave it out overnight?
Cocaine should be.
Cocaine should be pink.
No. We talked about this. Cocaine is only pink if it's been treated with a weird wash that made it pink. Good cocaine is a little yellow.
Like somebody pissed on it.
Yeah, a little yellow. It's a little yellow and fish scaly. Pink cocaine is super rare. You've seen it once. I've seen it once. It is great cocaine, but
Great cocaine.
Mom, I'm lying. I've never done cocaine. Marcy, we're totally full of shit.
Yeah,
But-
my mom knows who I am and what I've done.
Oh yeah, we've done a lot of cocaine. But pink cocaine, that's been doctored.
No, are you guys gonna eat the placenta?
No.
That's gross.
I
Bury it in
know.
the yard so the dogs can take it out.
Yeah, I think that all that shit's weird. Like, go find your favorite tree and bury the placenta. I've literally like Holly's so badass
Wait,
because
hospital birth, drugs.
oh yeah.
So not like bathtub.
Well,
with a
no,
midwife.
none of that shit. But
Do you want me
Holly
to do the delivery?
has actually been like very back and forth as far as does she want a epidural or does she want to go natural? And she's asked me. Well, so she's asked Lindsay for advice. Lindsay's the worst person. to
She's a
ask for
hippie.
advice.
She'd be like, "Don't
Yeah, she's
fucking
a
do it."
hippie.
Yeah.
She's like, I think you should have the baby in the forest, and you should have a black bear deliver the baby.
If anybody ever asked me, I would do that shit in a heartbeat. If
Fuck
they
yeah,
have
but-
drugs to make
yeah,
you
yeah,
not
like-
feel like
Yeah,
shit while
give
you're.
me all of the drugs.
Yeah.
Give me every
so
drug.
I
you
know
can.
how Holly feels about opioids. She wants the epidural. Like,
Yeah. So anyhow, she's gonna get the fucking epidural, but the I don't know, man. Like
Oh, that bird.
the hospital kind of freaks me out. Like I already get like
oh, you
weirded.
guys toured the birthing center.
I get weirded out at hospitals. I don't really like them, you know. But they just make me uncomfortable. They make me feel bad. And
It's where most people die.
exactly.
How many women die in childbirth these days?
I don't want to talk about that. I'll talk about.
Actually, it's more likely the husband.
It's possible. I 100% know I'm gonna be a
Can I
little
be there?
bitch and
Can I be in the room?
cry. Probably not.
Can I
You can be there. I would actually enjoy you.
Can
being
I stare
there.
intently at your wife's vagina as she gives birth?
Yeah. That's the other
I
thing.
I just wanna know-
Did
Call
you
me when
look?
you guys are
I just
walking
want to know if
around.
she poops.
Did you look at Ava coming out?
No, I stayed beside Corey holding her.
Did you want
Amy
to
and Ashley were in between her legs, watching the whole thing, and I
I've
had
seen-
no
I've
interest
seen
in
a bunch
seeing
of
that
them.
part of it. I don't
Well,
know.
I've seen births like on.
It wasn't
video.
something to me
No,
that I was
I've
like,
seen
that's a
live
part
ones.
that's important to me. To me, it was
Did you
being
cut
there
the
with.
cord?
Yeah, cut the cord.
I've seen some live ones.
Well, I'm 100%
Pretty
gonna
gross.
cut the cord, but I'm undecided on if I want to go down there.
I
probably
didn't-
won't,
I
only
hadn't-
because Holly doesn't want me to.
For
so-
sure. I hadn't decided ahead of time that this was the plan. Just in the heat of the moment of her being in pain and freaking out and needing to hold my hand, I stayed right beside her with her while she gave birth.
Can we plan something real quick here? Can we do this,
Sure.
please? When it's right about time and she's in the
She's
birthing,
crowning?
and she's in she's in the birthing position and you're standing at your holding.
Should I enter her?
Can I no?
Should I enter?
Can I please walk through the door of the room with a mask and gloves on and go, all right, Holly, let's do this.
As long as you wear a
Oh my
Patch
God.
Adams clown nose on the end of your nose.
You have to fucking do that now. She would. Oh, I don't know how she would react to that.
I think she would love it. Remember when she wanted you? So when we were, you remember how long we were like trying to get pregnant? There was like several times. One of them in particular, Holly's all drunk, and it was like she was ovulating, and we had to go home and try to fertilize, and he was with us, and we were all drunk, and I was like, oh, I guess I'm gonna go home, and Holly's like, no, I need you to come home with us. I need you to be there while he gets me pregnant.
Yeah, she wanted me like in the corner of the room, just hanging out. No, but she wanted to go home, get pregnant, and then like start the night again.
Yeah, and then come back down to the living room and drink and do drugs with Paco some more.
Have you seen that song on YouTube, the "How do you like your eggs, fried or fertilized?"
I really do want to do that. I really want. Like we could actually plan it with the nurses in the doctor.
That would actually be hilarious.
Holly, in this, you have your phone, you tape the whole thing, and just have me walk in with like street clothes with just a surgical mask, my eye patch.
All right, you ready?
You gotta do
it. and nitric and freaking gloves on, and go. All right, Holly, you ready to have this baby? Let's do it.
Oh my God, you have to do it now.
I think that would be fucking hilarious, and I kind of want to do that now.
You need to video it from the side, but get that shit on video.
Yeah.
Be amazing.
Yeah, dude. It's like, we're like there. I mean, that baby could be here in 2 weeks.
Right? You know? Yeah, they said anytime after Thanksgiving,
anytime after Thanksgiving. Be ready.
But its actual delivery date right now is the 24th.
24th, yeah. Christmas Eve.
Oh man, you're gonna have such a shitty December. You have her birthday in December.
No way.
Your kid's birthday is gonna be in December and Christmas. Yeah. You're gonna be broke every year in December.
You know what's really fucking pissing me off right now is our weather being so weird and like hot and strange. I'm already, like I was saying, I'm such a worrywart. I want the first like big shit storm to happen so that everyone figures out how to drive in it again.
Yeah.
So that I'm not driving either a pregnant woman in fresh first goddamn snow of the year, or a newborn in first goddamn snow of the year. You know.
It's gonna happen on December 21st.
You think the 21st? I'm betting on Holly's birthday. Actually.
When is her birthday?
10th.
The 10th.
Yeah.
That early, huh?
Yeah, I'm betting.
I say tomorrow night after dinner.
Oh God. Dude.
Has she smoked at all during her pregnancy?
Well, I mean, probably at the very beginning before she
knew.
Like knew.
The only reason I say that is there's 3 different people that I know who didn't do it like all the time, but off and on throughout their pregnancy, and all 3 of them had their babies like 2 to 4 weeks early.
Yeah, she hasn't smoked any since she was like pregnant.
Just heroin.
Just heroin.
And just like meth that one time off of foil. But if it's off of
just
foil,
foilies.
Just foilies.
Just foilies.
All right, let's move on from baby dicks. Let's talk about. I got a hummingbird bladder again. James wants to talk about Big Mouth, which is our favorite show right now.
So these guys were just telling me.
You're the man, Steve.
So these guys are telling me about it the other day. I was over here 2 days ago, and so I went home that night, threw it on Netflix, binged about 5 or 6 episodes in, watched a couple more since then, and my first reaction was, this is probably the most raunchiest fucking TV show that's ever existed. Like, I watch a lot of raunchy shit. I enjoy it. I think it's funny. I was shocked at how down that rabbit hole they go.
Oh my God, it's so great.
And it is. It's fucking hilarious, but it took me 4 episodes still going, I can't believe the opening scene has a girl dropping her period blood on the floor, and the director's name is like written in the period blood. And I'm just like, what the fuck? It's very, very fucking funny. It appears that there's quite a few different people from the league who voice characters in there.
Yeah.
I would imagine, as being comedians, that they probably have something to do with writing the show. It is fucking hilarious.
It's Nick Kroll and John Mulaney mostly, but Rafi, Jason Mantzoukas.
He's been in it quite a bit too, really.
I love him, dude. That guy is freaking awesome in everything he does.
Fucking his brothers make him eat their jizz.
The hormone monster is like the greatest character created.
Who voices the hormone monster?
Nick Kroll.
It's Nick Kroll. Okay. Yeah, that show is a must watch. So there's a lot of shows that I questionably let my children watch. That is not fucking one of them.
No way.
Yeah, don't let your kids watch that
Yeah,
shit.
don't let your kids watch that shit.
It is not safe for work.
My daughter watches Game of Thrones with me, and like certain scenes come up, we'll all cover her eyes. But
you can kind of reconcile all of that shit because it's real life. But as outrageous as that shit is,
yeah.
Woo.
Yeah. Great show, though. Just fucking hilarious. Probably the funniest thing I've seen on TV. You guys, actually, the 2 last funniest shows I've watched, you guys have both recommended, and that's been Rick and Morty and Big Mouth.
Rick and Morty's the best.
And then I did finally watch It. I think I told you guys the other day, but last we talked, you're like, you need to fucking watch that before the next podcast.
Fucking great, dude.
Great fucking flick. It is a scary movie. It's a horror movie, but besides a few jump scenes, it was just a great
was just
overall
a
flick. Yeah,
good
like
movie,
great
yeah.
fucking movie.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
Ava watched it actually with me. After I had watched it once, I watched it again with her because her friend got to go see it, and she was like, "Well, I want to watch it, and you have it." And so
Yeah.
we
She
watched
wasn't
it.
freaked out by it?
She had a couple jump scares where she jumped over to me and sat by
Well,
me,
sure.
and then she wanted to watch something a little less scary before going to bed. But
Yeah, I
she
plan
really
on
enjoyed it.
because I mean, I don't know if this is true for everybody. Maybe I'm already thinking about how to fuck up my kid. But as much as I love fucking horror movies. Like horror movies is one of my things.
Really?
And I want to be able to share that with my kids. So I will probably introduce him to horror movies that he can handle pretty fucking early, just to see.
Horror
And
movies
just to,
for me have
start-
never been that big.
Yeah.
I don't know. I enjoyed it a lot, but like, I don't know, scary fucking movies. I enjoy a good fucking story, and especially one like it did.
Mm-hmm.
That setting, especially around like kids, like it gives you this
Yeah.
nostalgia back
Oh,
to
yeah.
when you were
Oh,
younger
yeah,
and shit
100%.
like that. I love those kind of movies. Are like my favorite. And
Yeah, me too.
And that's why, to me, you always want your kid to enjoy the things that you enjoy as well. So you
Sure.
expose them to those things. And
Right.
sometimes I do it in poor taste. You know, she shouldn't at 11 fucking years old be watching Game of Thrones. There's some shit in there that's way too adult for her.
But I think my opinion on that is it depends on the kid.
Yeah.
What's your kid's maturity level?
For sure.
You know, and Ava's seen some shit like
She loves that show. Like
She's
she
good.
literally every
She's probably
every
good.
episode last season was like, "Don't watch it until I get back from mom's," and that was our thing on Sundays. And you know,
But I remember things like that as a young kid, 11, 12 years old, things that I probably shouldn't have been watching. My parents were so strict on what I
Right.
watched.
Mine
they
were
would
too.
not let me watch anything.
that made me want to see shit like that more.
Exactly. Me too. And I think that's what made me start liking horror so much, because I was always fascinated with the VHS covers of horror movies, like at the video
Oh
store.
yeah.
Fascinated with it, and I always liked being scared. I used to actually scare myself. Like, we had a we lived out in the fucking country, and we had this outhouse that we kept the garbage in before garbage day. And one of my chores was to take the garbage out to this little shed out that was a good maybe, I don't know, 40 yards from the back door. So it was like back up this hill a little bit. And I used to psych myself out to a point where I would almost have an anxiety attack on the way back to the house from this fucking thing.
Oh yeah.
But by the time I got in the house, that adrenaline was so like good that I always wanted to like, okay, I like this part of it. So I was always trying to like recreate that.
No, you're legitimately lucky you were never murdered.
Yeah. So
The one
anyway.
that fucked me up as a kid was, I want to say I was probably 8 or 9 years old, and I watched Candyman when it first came out.
Oh yeah, that was a big one.
Dude, I'm not even shitting you. For like a month, I would be like, everybody's asleep, and I got to go to the bathroom where there's a fucking mirror.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah. Well, Brandon.
it made me not like horror movies as a kid.
Watch this. I guarantee you won't go do it now.
Fuck you. I'll go piss right now.
No, you'll.
Well,
no.
Paco's going to try to
Look
rape
in
me when I go
mirror,
in the
say
bathroom.
Candyman 5 times. Do it now.
No.
See?
Yeah, it is kind of fucking weird. I don't know if I would like to do.
The whole Bloody Mary shit? Yeah, I don't want to do that now. No.
So, speaking of Bloody Mary, that's what I was going to say. My brother Brandon, who's only 2.5 years younger than me, I used to scare him really bad with Bloody Mary. And Zach, I was playing a game with him the other night, and we were talking about something, and Brandon's son, Ethan, who's, I think Ethan's 6 now? He's 6 or 7. And on Halloween, they wanted Brandon to tell them a story. And Brandon decided to tell Ethan, who is Brandon and Sam's real blood son,
Okay.
and then Kyler, who Brandon adopted, but was Sam's son from a previous guy. Kyler is 8, and Ethan's 6. 6 or 7. They told them Bloody Mary, and Zach was like, "Dude, Kyler has this very like pragmatic way of dealing with scary stuff, where he goes, I know it's not real, but I'm scared anyway.
Right.
But I recognize that." Ethan, on the other hand, too young for that. So I guess Ethan would not go to the bathroom without somebody with him for 2 weeks after Halloween, because Brandon told him about Bloody Mary. And then one night he like went to the bathroom in his bed because he would not get out of bed to go to
Oh,
the bathroom.
shit.
And they were like, "Oh, it was a bad mistake. I shouldn't have done that." But that's the kind of stuff where I mean, obviously I don't want to scare my kid, but I want them to like. I like horror movies not only for like I don't get scared by horror movies ever anymore, but I appreciate them on a different level, kind of like the way I appreciated Party Bus to Hell. Or sorry, side note, did you guys see the name of the movie is being changed now?
No.
Bus Party to Hell. Because this distribution company, I saw a post that Jillian shared the other day. This distribution company that they got says, we'll take it and we'll distribute it, but we're going to change the name to Bus Party to Hell so that it shows up much earlier
Alphabetically?
on alphabetically sorted movies.
Interesting.
But it sounds fucking stupid.
Yeah, Bus Party.
Bus Party to Hell. It's
You
a
know-
party bus.
With the horror movie thing, there's one very nostalgic thing from my childhood is that my dad, and I never really thought about this until recently, but I think he actually really likes horror movies.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, my mom was very restrictive of what we watched.
Yeah.
And when she would go out of towns for shows and stuff for her work that she had to leave for,
Yeah.
the first thing we would do is go to Pacific Video, and he would grab like 3 or 4 horror movies. We'd watch like Hellraiser, fucking
yeah.
Children of the Corn,
Hell yeah.
shit like that.
Fuck
As
yeah,
soon
dude.
as mom went out of town, and I'm in elementary school, and we'd sit up late at night watching fucking horror movies
yeah, dude.
every time.
That's the kind
And
of shit that I look forward to.
yeah, it was kind of cool. It was that bonding that we had, and it was always a don't tell your mom we watch these
Yep,
movies.
this is between us kind of thing. Yeah, Holly doesn't like horror movies. She doesn't like being scared. She has like nightmares if we watch certain kinds of horror movies. If it's like real stuff, it has like a murder or something in it. That's what triggers her like weird, crazy person demon inside her nightmares where she talks to
Dude,
herself.
you got to tell some stories
Does
about
weird
that.
shit.
Maybe not tonight, but
She
her fucking night terrors that she used to have.
Yeah.
We've talked in depth about that shit, and there's
So-
some weird fucking shit going on there.
So the other night, she hasn't had anything like that the whole time she's been pregnant.
yeah.
And the other night, I woke up and she was I'm doing a visual right now, but she was like holding her belly where one hand was on the bottom of it, and one hand was on top, and she was alert, eyes open and stuff, talking to Dax. And it was a very sweet manner, but creeped me the fuck out to the point where I woke her up because I
Oh,
wanted
because
it
she
to
was
stop.
doing it sleeping.
Yeah, she was asleep and she was
Ooh.
talking to him, and she was.
We're gonna kill Blake one day, son.
Yeah, that's the kind of shit.
He doesn't know yet. But
Paco
it's
used to.
just me and you.
You remember when Holly used to watch all those murder mysteries? Paco swore that someday she's gonna murder you.
She still watches that
Takes
shit.
notes.
She takes notes.
You know what she did wrong? She shouldn't have done that. She shouldn't have told her sister that she was gonna kill him. She shouldn't have done that. That was fucking stupid.
You
Oh,
shouldn't
shit.
have done that. He was just a boy.
He was just a boy. Well, you know what? On that note, I was gonna get to story time, but we've already gone for a while.
Wow.
Maybe we should kill it.
Yeah, we'll do stories
Save
next
it.
time.
What are we
Go get
at?
some
We're
fucking
at an
food.
hour and a half right now.
Yeah, we've got more shit to talk about next time. So
Yeah, let's smash it.
thanks for listening, you guys.
All right, this is gonna go up on. We're gonna put it up on.
We should put it on SoundCloud.
We'll put it on SoundCloud, and then we'll explore how to
Linking
put it
it
up
everywhere.
on something else from there. But
It'll go somewhere.
yeah, somebody will listen to this in the next while.
All right.
Whether it's
Two of
somebody-
us will be back next week.
Yeah, 2 of us will definitely be back next week.
You're
See
the
you
man,
guys.
Steve. You're the man, Steve.
Man, Steve. Peace, fuck out.
Later.